Hi there everybody. So today we're going to take a look at this here. This is the Bandai R2D2 and R5D4 1/12 scale model kit. This is the kit of the two droids that you may have seen in Star Wars, which later became Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. R5D4 did a cameo later on in another different Star Wars show, which you may or may not have seen. Anyway, let's take a look what's in the box. So, cover is, as you can see there, that's the, let's get this better. So that's the, you got a nice painting here of the two droids. There's a drow just over there behind them. Right, so on the bottom side we have a couple of images there from the movie and some dialogue about the droids. Over here, pictures of the finished models. On this side, it's basically same as the front cover. On this side, that way up, we have again a couple of pictures of the finished droids, front and back sort of thing. And then you got some basic information there, caution and so on, a barcode. On this side, same as the other side. On the back, nothing, just plain black glossy box. So, let's take a look what's inside. So this is a Japanese culture, is very interesting. I'm sure there is. So that will give you a hint that I bought this from a seller in Japan. I got it off eBay and cost me £36. Let me see, £36 and 32p at the time. This was August 2020 when it arrived. I bought it in June. Why did I buy it from a vendor in Japan, I hear you cry? Well, because I couldn't get any in this country. I believe I've just taken a look at eBay today, which is the 3rd of June, basically a year later, 3rd of June 2021, and you can buy it on from a British vendor. The first one I saw was an English one, so there you go. And it still costs between £35 and £50 depending on who you buy it from on eBay. I haven't looked at other places. I believe it's available on Amazon and so on. If you want to buy one, my advice would be first go have a look at your local model shop, see if they've got it. They're pretty hard to get hold of in this country, as I said, but maybe if you're lucky. Anyway, so what do we have in here? We got 1, 2, 3 bags of bits and an instruction manual. So I shall put this aside for the moment and have a quick browse, put this somewhere safe, a quick browse through the manual. And so I'm not going to dwell heavily on the contents of this book. Let me see, a bit glossy, let's tilt it like that, it looks better. Again, some very nice images of the finished robots on the front of the cover and some images from the movie. Anyway, yeah, a resourceful astromech droid R2D2 served Padme Amidala, Anakin Skywalker and Luke Skywalker in turn. Then something here about R5D4, a red astromech droid. Let's get you closer in when you see that. Pause and read it for yourself, but anyway. Red astromech droid, he thought he'd found a home when the drow sold him to Owen Lars along with the protocol droid C-3PO, but R5 was motivated blue as he rolled away from the sandcrawler, forcing the drows to take him back in exchange for R2D2. So there you go. If he hadn't failed, R2 might never have got the job done. Anyway, so this is like one big folding thing. Get it all in. As I said, this is one big folding thing. And yeah, it's complicated. Well, it's not complicated to look at it, but yeah, so it starts off with building both droids in succession. Looks like the bodies of the droid are virtually identical. So basically, parts 1 and 2, R2D2 and R5D4. And just go straight through putting this together, and basically apart from the head of these droids, the top part, it looks like you have two virtually identical robots here. Just go straight through. The top part there is probably tells you what's going on, and you've got extra bits to do there. So yeah, so we'll start with building the bodies of each astromech droid and putting some bits on the front of the droids and putting the leg into the droid, the center leg into the body, and then you start on the left leg, or sorry, start on the right leg and then go to the left leg and so on. Then that's pretty much it all the way through. Then you put the heads together. Where am I? Continue on back side, it says here. So back side is over here. Interesting that the back side is in full colour while the rest of it is not. But anyway, there you go. And there it is. So I finishes with putting the heads, his head on, the head of R5D4, and then you got a stand for both droids, it looks like. Then you're inserting all sorts of bits and bobs into R2's little torso, little barrel-shaped body there. So over here you have a get closer into that. I have an image with the sprue parts. So there you go. So I'm guessing. So from what I can see, a lot of these parts are duplicated. So two sets of markings, a set of decals and a set of water decals and a set of stickers. And then last thing, you have a color guide, painting guide for these two robots, or more accurately, a placement guide for the stickers and or decals. There it is. From what I can gather, you don't actually need to paint this vehicle, this model, because the parts are color coded, so they all come in the right colors. So you can opt to paint it for a slightly more realistic look. May or may not do that, I don't know. Anyway, so I'll put this aside. I'll try to have a look at some plastic. So, in no particular order, pick the first sprue out, and here it is. This is a sprue C1, sprue C1, and what's the other one? Sprue C2. So these are C sprues, and they are made in a silvery grey plastic. So we can get into this. My big scissors. Here we go. So as well as the sprues, you've got the water decals. So let's have a quick look at that. So effectively they're just coloured squares, coloured panels primarily. Red panels, blue panels, little other bits and pieces. Okay, put that aside. The plastic, two sprues. Let's start with C1. So C1 appears to have the head and silver parts of R2. So there, R2, in case you were wondering. And this is the kind of plastic that I've never particularly liked in other models and so on. But you know, it does the job. I will be painting these parts because I don't like the way that the plastic is finished, or rather the way it finishes. But you got very nicely well molded parts, which is what I've come to expect from Bandai. Little grabber arm there. Get some closer looks. So there you can see the head, the dome, which is in two halves. I assume, shouldn't assume, should you? But I'm assuming that this part here is what the head fits on, and that hopefully may rotate in the body, or may not. We'll see. Sprue C2, more of the same, more other bits and pieces. Again, these are all I think there's a duplicate set for the other droid. Yeah, so this I believe will be the attach the part that attaches the head of the other droid, the R5D4, because a lot of these parts are identical. So like this section here, virtually the same as that. Anyway, lots of very similar identical parts. Next sprue, or next bag rather. So the next bag contains blue and white, predominantly blue and white parts, with some gold, I think it is, and red parts. This bag is that really crinkly plastic that is quite noisy. So we'll begin with this one. This is sprue A. It's all in there. And lots of blue, the little bits of red and gold or yellow. I'll say it's gold, could be yellow. Get it right around. There you go. So that's the front of the sprue. And so I recognise that piece already, which will be for R5D4's head. Yeah, there's a little smoked transparent part there, which I believe will be R2's eye. I'm guessing. So I'm not sure why it's like that. It looks like a lens. But then you've got this little square piece there, which I've no idea what that is. I'm guessing that's something to fit in, that allows the part to fit in the placement tab or something like that. Anyway, again, all the parts are very nicely molded, very clean, very sharp. A total lack of flash, which is what I've come to expect from Bandai. Yeah, so that's that sprue. And then we have this sprue, which is sprue B1. Let's get you all in there. Fine editing to do. So then we have sprue B1, which appears to be one of the bodies. I'm guessing this is R2, or could be the other body. Sprue B1 R2, it says so. So these are the undersides of the feet, and looks like there's wheels on there. Unfortunately, they're not rotating wheels or anything, they're just molded indentations. I don't know if you can see them properly. So not wheels, just idea of wheels. So as this is the underneath the bottom, I may not need to paint that, but we'll see. So that's the center leg, as it were, his third leg, and some other bits and pieces which go on the legs. The main body looks very nicely molded, very complex on the inside, with all the parts to lock all the pieces together. But yeah. Oops. So that is sprue B1. Put them back in the bag. Next bag contains sprue B2 and the stand, or two stands as it were. Let's dive into this one. One of the parts is broken off. Very unlike Bandai, but, so I'm guessing it looks like this part that fits there. So this is R5 mostly. So R5's body, you can tell his head is there, the bits that his head fits on. That's the top of his head, and the red bits from the other will fit inside there. So a lot of these parts look very similar to the parts on the other, on R2's droid. The body is very similar. These wheels are virtually identical, the legs, and so on. Other side, more of the same. So the only real differences are the head there And as you come to expect from Bandai, everything looks very lovely. I'll be saying that a lot, I think, on this kit. Anyway, I shall get to the next bit, which is SWB3, the stand. So basically 2 stands. So it looks like when Bandai make these, make them a set of 4 and just give you what you need for the particular kit. Now there's 2 droids in this kit, and it's got 2 stands, 1 for each one. Useful. So basically the same as the other stands of the 12th scale kits. So this one is different because you've got a square cutout, which I believe will be... I've no idea what that's for, to be honest. Don't know why I need to cut out there, but yeah. Right, put the back in the bag. As I put these back in the bag, find that the sticker set is in here, and it looks like a set of stickers. Not particularly exciting, but I probably won't be using these because I generally don't like stickers in these things. Yeah. Even though I'm quite aware that the stickers in the Bandai kits are pretty good, they stick well and they do what they're supposed to do. But I prefer decals, or even just painting. As these are just blocks of colour, painting may be a more interesting way to do it for me. And that's pretty much it. Not a lot in there, but you know, quite a lot of parts to make 2 little androids. But wait, there's more. What else is there? Here you cry, you've already had a look at everything. Well, I've got another kit. This one contains R2D2 R2D2 Droins, a 1/12 scale model, nuclear model. Now when I saw this, I couldn't resist buying it, mainly because it cost, how much did it cost me? £15.29, and so, well, I decided I could afford it, so I decided to buy it, mainly to compare it with the Bandai kit that you just saw before. So as usual, let's take a look at the outside of the box. So on this side we have some images of the finished robot, very similar to what you may see on the Bandai box. Let's look. On this side, we have basically the cover of the box. On this side, 2 pictures of the droids, choking hazard, some warnings in English, Arabic and Chinese. No, just English and Arabic, no Chinese in it. Wow. Sharp weapons. Sharp. Sure. Also refers to hand weapons of soldiers. Okay. On this side you got that, and then on the back you have some items about the droids. Yeah, R2D2 R2 is a robot character that appears in the movie Star Trek series. Yeah, this just arrived today, by the way. I haven't read any of this. This is the first time I'm looking at it. Opened, took it out of the packaging this morning before I went to work. First time I'm reading this. So let's zoom in and see if you can read it for pause. Take a pause and read it for yourself if you like. So number SW07 R2D2 R2D2 Droins. Get it right. Now this is R2D2 R2D2 is a robot character that appears in the movie Star Trek series, often referred to as R2. R2D2 is one of the few that appear in all Star Wars movie roles. So it's Star Wars now, is it? Bracket. In addition to it 6 film roles include Anakin Skywalker, Darth Obi-Wan Kenobi, Obi-Wan.Kenobi, okay, and R2 robot companion C-3PO, while R2D2 is the only one with the same image in all 6 films' debut role. Close bracket. Stop. R2's first appearance is in Star Wars. The threats lurking in the... When Anakin to wear microphones showed that when when Anakin to wear microphones showed when C-3PO... What? In the True Story movies, R2D2 is played by Kenny. I think I mean Kenny Baker. Yeah. This chap. By Kenny. Where is it? I'm lost now. In the animated Clone Wars, R2D2, often difficult tasks are completed. Bar Fate, assassination, when Cloud and Anakin. Anakin asks R2D2 rejected temple relief, and R2D2 in warding off Boba Fett. After chase, successfully returned to the Jedi Temple to rescue Anakin, and the R2 level of trust on the Cloud's master was admired. Yeah, that's just... Yeah, I'm guessing this was translated by somebody whose first language is not English, or who is not very good at English. That English to whatever language dictionary certainly got a good use in this time. Anyway, as well as that, you've got some couple of images of the droids down here and the logo of the model maker, nuclear model. Let's take a look what's inside the box. So how do you get into this? Yeah, you're right, okay. Little sharpie cutty thing. Okay then. Ooh, it's well packed. There's a cardboard box on the inside. So let's get that out. Well, what have we here? So it certainly is very well packed. A cardboard box in the cardboard box, which is, you know, positive mark, you know, points awarded for that. So how many sprues do I have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, 7 bags, I suppose, of sprues. And then you got some more bits here. The instructions, which look rather nasty, and some stickers. So anyway, let's move some things about a bit. Excuse me a moment. Okay then, so the instructions. Yeah, look a bit cheap. There's a great big sticker on here, which it looks like they've basically just photocopied the original instructions. Yep, indeed they have. It's just a straight copy of the Japanese Bandai kit on some rather tough paper. So everything that you've seen before with the so this is virtually identical to the instructions that are in the original Bandai box. Get it all in, I think. The main difference being that the paper is a much heavier duty paper, which is a surprise. Usually when people are making cloning, that's a good one. Cloning these sorts of things, they tend to go cheap, but doesn't look like they have. So there you got the sprues, which are... So the sprue map is basically again exactly the same as we have on the Bandai. So what things have they changed? Well, firstly got rid of the word Bandai. But all the writing on here is in Japanese. Astro Droids. I'm wondering what's under here. Probably something that has the word Bandai on it. Should I have a go at taking it off? Well, when I say it under here, I mean this little label here. So I can quite see there's, I think this is effectively exactly the same thing that you saw in the it's tearing. I'll worry about that later. Anyway, just having a good look at this image here. It's virtually the same as the Bandai stiffer paper. Got a separate little bag here with the stickers. Get closer in. Separate bag here with stickers. So if you can open this, yes you can. It is a resealable bag, I think. There you go. Very tight fit. Oh, it just stuck. So you got both stickers and decals. The stickers, yeah, they are stickers, exactly the same as the decals. At the box, the decals don't look very good. They look a bit dodgy. But then, yeah, what do you expect from a cheap copy? Yeah, we'll put this back in the bag. Right then, so let's take a look at the plastic. Let's see if the bootlegging of these bits is what you'd expect. Now, unlike the Bandai, these are resealable bags, which makes life a bit easier for me. And yeah, so the only difference between this and the Bandai is that, get it all in, this says nuclear model on there. Or apart from that, the molding looks identical. You know, I would not be surprised if these parts could be interchanged on the Bandai kit. I'll be surprised if they did, but you know, the sprues look virtually identical so far, of my memory holes, which is only 5 minutes long. They look fine. You know, if you told me that this was a Bandai kit, I'd be wondering, well, if it is a Bandai kit, why does it not say Bandai on there? But yeah. So there's nuclear model, polystyrene, PS polystyrene, and sprue A. The plastic is very similar to the polystyrene in the Bandai kit, albeit slightly. I'm just wondering what it's like. It looks like these separate colour bits were moulded separately and then stuck together, because it looks like there's glue on the joining on there, so where the different colour sprues have been put together. So someone's gone to a lot of trouble to fake this. And there's a bend in the sprue here, though I don't think it affects the parts, but you know, we'll give them an A for effort if nothing else. Next bag. So this is sprues C, sprues C1 and C2, and again, they're virtually identical to the Bandai sprues. Yeah. Taking a closer look at the more little parts, they still look pretty good. For example, I was looking at these parts here, which are quite delicate, but they look exactly the same as they did on the Bandai. Plastic is a bit what's going on there? In closer inspection, the parts look virtually identical, but you can almost tell that there is a slight difference, though, you know, it's still very good though, I have to admit. So this is sprue C2. Again, get your side, get your close up on some of the little parts. It's the quality of the plastic that lets this thing down. It's not quite as good as the Bandai. Having said that, I haven't seen any actual flash yet, so I'm guessing the molds of these kits are fairly new, so they're not too bad. You can see some, don't know what that is, release agent maybe, or something there. Anyway, those are sprues C2, C1 and C2. Next sprues in the bag are these two. We'll do these together. They're basically exactly the same. Sprues SWB, SWB3. So as they're identical, let's put one away and have a look at this one. Bag it comes. Now this surface has a slightly satiny finish about it. You know, it's like that shiny satin, but all the bits look again virtually identical to the other one. I was wondering what these bits mean. Whether they're slightly curved, bent. But the plastic looks fine. There is a slight curve, as you can see there. And while the parts themselves look straight, the sprues have a bit of a bend to them. I wonder if that happened in the packaging because they're fairly tightly packed, or if it's just where they are. We've also got a sprue of some clear parts. I've no idea what these are. I did not see them mentioned in the instruction, but then I didn't have a close look at the instruction, so... Oh, what are these? BOA. I assume some kind of stand, so... Guess I'll find out later. Next sprue. Next bag, rather. So unlike the Bandai kit, each and every sprue is in its own bag, so it's a resealable bag as well, so for this sort of thing it's pretty good. Again, it's bent. Let's get you all in. Bent, not sure why these things are bent. Can't see a reason for it. For, you know, the box looked fine, but undamaged as it were. Anyway. So this is sprue B1 for nuclear model, and I see a little bit of flash. It's only a little bit though, is right on the edge of one of these parts here. And it's not really worth measuring it, but it is there. Nothing a quick scrape of the knife won't get rid of, or sander or whatever. Other parts look fairly well molded. Plastic is probably like half a grade down from the Bandai plastic, but the mouldings are nice and sharp and everything's great. Yep. Nothing bad really to say about these things here. I doubt you could, you know, probably the quality of the plastic may be the only thing that is different between this and the Bandai, side by side, that is. On the back here, some messy bits on the edge of these pieces here, but everything else looks pretty fine. That's sprue B1. And finally, sprue B2. So what do we have here? So this is mostly the other droid. And again, on close inspection, everything does look pretty nice. I'd say this sprue is slightly better than the sprue B1 that we just looked at, but apart from that, you know, I've had more expensive kits that didn't have as good plastic as this, so I'm not going to complain about that, you know. So sprue B2, let's have a close look at some of the interesting bits. That's the main body of the droid. On the side, lots of intricate parts for going in. Lots of intricate bits and pieces to locate the various parts. And the head of the R5D4, who incidentally isn't mentioned on the box, you may have noticed. I was wondering about this part here because it looks like it's not quite the right shape. But I have to compare it to the Bandai. I'm fairly certain it's fine, but you know, at the end of the day, what matters is how well the parts go together, because they look pretty good, but will they go together as well? As well as the Bandai, that is. Yeah, we'll find out sooner or later. Anyway, back in the bag with you. So, there it is. So I'm just wondering, you know, which should you buy? Well, obviously you should buy the Bandai. If you can afford the extra £25 or so to buy the Bandai, then you should buy the Bandai. What do I think about the how they compare? Well, again, the Bandai is obviously the nicer one, but then you are paying £35 for this as opposed to £15 for this, so you know, less than half price. I'll hand it to the nuclear people, though. They've gone to a lot of effort to duplicate this kit, and they've done it quite well. As to is it the right thing to do? Well, I think I'm satisfied because I've bought the Bandai, so I've spent the money on the expensive kit, and bought the other one mainly just for fun, just to compare the two, and it compares pretty well, I must admit. But then this Bandai kit will have the official Star Wars, Lucasfilm / Disney licenses for it. This one won't, which is why, well, they get the names wrong for one thing. Well, they don't. Well, they got the name of the droids wrong. Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's funny. So my opinion right now is that the cheap kit is a pretty nice kit. If you want to buy something, if you're not a big fan of Star Wars, then by all means cheap out on the cheaper kit. If you like making models, I don't think you're going to be that disappointed between. I don't think you've got to know which is better than the but honestly, I'd say that if you can afford it, buy the Bandai. It is the better kit. And while I haven't tried them out, I suspect that the transfers, the decals for the Bandai will be a lot better than the ones in the nuclear model. They certainly look better. The stickers certainly are a lot better with the Bandai than they are with the nuclear model. So, and I do wonder, you know, exactly how much Lucasfilm and Disney are going to lose out on this. At the moment, Lucasfilm, as I record this in summer of 2021, Lucasfilm aren't doing very well with their Star Wars fans. They're not treating them well. They're effectively, they appear to be doing their best to alienate fans such as myself and others who are really hardcore fans of the show. So, and a lot of hardcore fans have decided to not spend money with Disney because of what they're saying about fans. So, I could see why the fan who doesn't want to give money to Disney would be giving money to these people, but at the end of the day, I'd prefer to stick with the original and best, which is the Bandai. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll be interested in your thoughts on this little subject. Buy the original or go for the bootleg? The original, obviously. That's a silly question. Anyway, if you like what you saw, tell your friends. If you don't like it, tell me why. And take care, everybody. See you later.